Welcome you all for the class of thermal engineering. In this class, we are going to see the mass discharge and the critical pressure ratio of a steam which is going through the nozzle and which is going to expand isentropically in the nozzle. So let us consider if steam is isentropically expanding through the nozzle, we already know that when steam is isentropically expanding, the isentropic formula, the general law of isentropic, that is Pv to the power of n is equal to constant. Pv to the power of n is equal to constant here, we know that. And also, we know that the gain in kinetic energy for the nozzle is equal to V2 square by 2 that we have seen in the previous class. See, when steam is expanding isentropically, when steam is expanding isentropically, we can write the general isentropic law V to the power of n is equal to constant, and also the gain in kinetic energy for the steam at the exit of the nozzle is V2 square by 2. Why? Because actually the gain in kinetic energy will be V2 square by 2 minus V1 square by 2, because the V1 is the initial velocity which is negligible, so that we are directly writing the gain in kinetic energy is equal to V2 square by 2. So that here the heat drop is equal to gain in kinetic energy. Nothing but the work done by the nozzle is equal to heat drop. Heat drop of the nozzle is equal to work done by the nozzle. So that we can write heat drop is equal to work done isentropic work done. What is isentropic work done? That is n by n minus 1 into P1 V1 minus P2 V2. Heat drop is equal to heat drop is nothing but work done. And also we know that the work done formula of the work done formula of general isentropic is n by n minus 1 into P1 P1 V1 minus P2 V2. So since the gain kinetic energy is nothing but work done, so we can equate V2 square by 2 is equal to work done isentropic. So that is nothing but n by n minus 1 into P1 V1 minus P2 V2. So that from the two logics we are writing V2 square by 2, that is nothing but gain in kinetic energy is equal to n by n minus 1 into P1 V1 minus P2 V2. From this particular formula, just we are taking the P1 V1 common, so that it will be rearranged like n by n minus 1 into P1 V1 into 1 minus P2 V2 by P1 V1. Here we need to get the value of we need to here from this formula we need to get the value of V2 by V2, then we can able to substitute the value here. So in order to get this P2 by V1 value, that is nothing but a pressure ratio of the steam. So for that we are taking the two conditions here, condition 1 state 1 and state 2. According to state 1 we are writing P1 V1 1 to the power of n is equal to P2 V2 to the power of n. Here what we are doing, according to the general law of isentropic, we are writing state 1 is equal to P1 to the power of n is equal to P2 to the power of n, and from that we are getting the value of P2 by V1 is equal to P1 by P2 to the power of 1 by n, and we are rearranging the ratios here. Why? Because in this formula particular we are having here we are having what? Here we are having the ratio in P2 by P1. So here we are having the P1 by, here we are having the P1 by P2. But we have to change this one. So in order to change this, what we are writing? We are writing minus for the power. Actually here it is 1 by n. Here taking the minus 1 and we are rearranging the numerator and denominator, and we are writing V2 by V1 is equal to P2 by P1 to the power of minus 1 by n. So from here we can write V2 is equal to, if you take this V1 into this side, it will become what? V2 is equal to V1 into P2 by P1 to the power of minus 1 by n. So here we can write instead of V2 by V1, in this formula we have V2 by V1. So here we can substitute the value of P2 by P1 to the power of minus 1 by n. Here we substituted this particular formula. From this general law we got the value of V2 by V1 here, and we substitute the particular value here. In the next slide, we can see the further steps of this particular one. I'm moving for the next slide here. Next slide is giving the here in the next slide. We're getting what? The next slide we're getting. Here we're getting n by the value of gain and kinetic energy will be n by n minus 1 into p1 v1 into 1 minus p2 by p1, the power of n minus 1 by n here we are getting. And finally we got the v2 as finally we got the v2 as finally we got the v2 value, that is nothing but the velocity of the steam at a exit, like v2 is equal to under root 2 into n minus n by 1 into p1 v1 into 1 minus p2 by p1. This is the final value of v2. But here we supposed to find out the mass discharge of the steam, not to find out the velocity of the steam. Now here we know that the general law to find out the general law or the general equation of volume here. For example, if you want to write a discharge volume discharge, that is nothing but VD. If you want to write out, it will be what? Area into velocity. Area into velocity. Here area will be what? Area will be meters square and velocity will be meters per second. So that finally it will come like a meter cube per second. Meter cube per second. Meter cube is nothing but volume. Per second is flow rate. So it is a volume flow rate. So in order to get the volume flow rate, what we have to take? We have to take the area and velocity. Here area means what? Nozzle area. Here area means a nozzle area, and velocity means a steam velocity. So that the multiplication of nozzle area into velocity of the steam, A into V2, will give the volume flow rate of the steam in meter cube per second. But we need to get the mass flow rate, not meter cube per second. For that, we are taking the specific volume of the steam at pressure 2. In order to convert this meter cube per second into kgs per second, we are taking the specific volume of steam at pressure 2, that is nothing but a meter cube per kg. For example, if you take a meter cube per second, that is nothing but volume flow rate by specific volume of the steam. What is specific volume of the steam? That is meter cube per kg here. So meter cube will get cancelled. It becomes kgs per second. This will become kg will come as a numerator. Second will become like a denominator. So what is the final output we got? Kgs per second. So that if you take A into V2 by V2, A into V2, like here, see, A into V2 by V2 will give the mass discharge in a kgs per second. So that this is the mass discharge formula. A2 V2 by V2 is equal to A V2 we are keeping common. Instead of V2 we are writing the value of V2 what we got from the above derivation. So finally mass discharge in kgs per second is equal to A by specific volume V2 at pressure 2 into 2 into n by n minus 1 into V1 into 1 minus V2 by V1 to the power of n minus n minus 1. This is the mass discharge. And also substituting the value of V2 from the equation. In the previous equation we got that value of V2 is equal to what? That V2 is equal to value of V2 is equal to what? V1 into 1 by V1 into value of V2 is equal to what? 1 by V1 into, and this value, the value of it is equal to V1 into P1 by P2 to the power of P1 P2 by P1 to the power of 1 minus n. This is the previous this we got in the previous derivation. So we are substituting that value here, and we are substituting that V2 value here. After substituting this particular V2 value here, we are getting m is equal to a by v1 into p1 by p2 into under root of p1 by p1 to the power of minus 1 by n. We are substituting this V2 value from the general law of asymptotics. So from that we are writing m is equal to a by v1 into p1 by p2 to the power of minus 1 by n, and under root 2 by n minus 2 by n 2n by n minus 1 into p1 v1 into 1 minus p2 by p1 to the power of n minus 1 by n. So from this formula, and if you want to make this p1 by p2 as p2 by p1, why? Because here we are having the we are having the ratio of p2 by p1, but here what we are having the p1 by p2. So we have to make this as a p2 by p1. In order to make this as a p2 by p1, we are eliminating the minus here, and we are rewriting p2 by p1 into 1 by n, and we are taking this one into inside of the root. When you take inside of the root, this one will become 2. 1 by n will become 2 by n, and after that finally we are getting this formula. Now we are getting mass is equal to mass discharge is equal to A into mass discharge is equal to A into under root 2n by n minus 1 into P1 V1 into P2 by P1 to the power of n to the power of 2 by n minus P2 by P1 to the power of n plus 1 by n. This is the formula we got, and we are moving to the next slide. In the next slide we can see further derivation. You can see further derivation. So here we got the in this slide, the last step as well is a mass discharge formula, that is nothing but m is equal to here we got the mass discharge formula, that is nothing but m is equal to this is the formula we got. This is a mass discharge formula from the previous derivation, that is m is equal to a into 2n by n minus 1 into p1 by v1 into p2 by p1 2 by n minus p2 by p1 to the power of n plus 1 by n. So this is the mass discharge formula. This is general mass discharge formula. For example, if you want to get the maximum mass discharge, max is equal max. If you want to get the max for any formula, if we want to get a maximum value for that particular parameter. For example, here we have the formula of m. If you want to get this maximum value for the m max, if you want to get further, what we have to do, we have to get the critical value of effective parameter or effective variable in the particular formula. This is the m formula here. If you want to get maximum value of m, we have to find out the critical value for the effective variable here. If you observe the formula of m here a is a constant. Nozzle area is not going to change, so that it is not a variable. N is also constant for the particular cost, either it may be 1.2, 1.3 like that. And P1 is a general pressure, it is also constant, and V1 also it is volume of steam, it is also constant. Here the effective variable will be P2 by P1, that is nothing but pressure ratio. Here effective variable will be P2 by P1. This is the effective variable in the M formula. So if you want to get the M max value, we should find out the critical value for the P2 by P1. So in order to get the critical value for the P2 by P1, we need to differentiate this M and we need to equate to the 0. That will be what? dm by dp2 by p1 is equal to 0. What we have to do? We have to, in order to get the critical value, we have to do what? We have to take the dm, differentiation of m with respect to P2 by P1, and then we have to equate to 0. Then we'll get the critical value for the P2 by P1. So what we are doing, we are only taking the values we are taking only value of terms of P2 by P1 only. We are not taking all entire formula here for the differentiation. What we are doing here, we are only taking the P2 formula, P2 parameter, P2 terms here, P2 by P1 terms. So what we are doing, we are differentiating this P2 by P1 terms with respect to the P2 by P1, and we are equating to 0. By doing this one, we are getting the critical value by the differentiation of this formula. We are getting the critical value like I'll show in the next slide. By doing dm by d2, by doing the dm by d2, we are getting the value of by doing the dm by d2, we are getting the value for the P2 by P1 as 2 by n plus 1 to the power of n by n minus. This is the critical value for the P2 by P1, and this is also known as a critical pressure ratio. P2 by P1, this is the critical value. By taking what from where we are getting it, we are getting this as what? dm by dP2 by P1 is equal to 0. From this condition, we are getting the critical value of P2 by P1, that is nothing but P2 by P1 is equal to 2 by n plus 1 to the power of n by n minus 1. And if you substitute this particular value, of P2 by P1 here in the formula of m, we'll get the m max as like this. This is the m max formula. If you substitute these value, if you substitute this P2 by P1 value in the formula of m, we can get the m max formula as a into under root 2n by n plus 1 into P1 by V1 into 2 by n plus 1, 2 by n minus 1. This is the m max formula. So by taking this m max formula, we can get the different m max formulas for different conditions. What are the different conditions we have? We have the different conditions of here we have different conditions, values for the maximum discharge through the nozzle. So for example, if this is a max formula, here what is a variable? Only n is the variable here. Here only n is the variable. N is what? The index of the process. Here the only if you observe here, if you observe the max formula, if you substitute the n value, n is the only variable here. So for example, if you take when the steam is initially dry saturated, n is equal to 1.135. If you substitute these value here instead of n, you will get the m max formula as what? M max as 0.637 a into under root P1 by V1. This is for what? This is initially dry saturated steam. And here, if you see, this is when steam is initially superheated. For the superheated steam, m value, index values will be changed according to the condition of the steam. If it is a dry saturated, n will be 1.135. If it is a superheated, n will be 1.3. So if you substitute this n value 1.3 here in the formula, you will get m max is equal to 0.666 a under root a into under root P1 by P1. This is the m max formula for the superheated steam. And the third one is for the gases. We know that for the gases, the index value will be gamma. N is equal to, for the gases, n is equal to 1%. That is nothing but n is equal to gamma, adiabatic index gamma. And when n reaches 1.4, it is said to be adiabatic index gamma. So if you substitute this 1.4 value in this particular m max value, we'll get for the gases m max is equal to 0.685 into a into under root P1 V1. So these are we will get some problems in competitive exams. By giving simply index value, they will ask to find out the m max. So that according to the condition we have to, for example, in the exam it is said to be a dry saturated, we have taken equal to 1.135 and we have to find it like this. And these are the different values for the maximum discharges according to the conditions. According to the conditions. I hope you understand the things. Thank you for listening to this class. I am going to conclude this class.